Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Amy and Bev. Hello, love.
Good day.
Good
I don't
day.
know. I don't know. So much emotional stuff, I feel like um lately. There's been a lot of stuff, and we've been around the full moon, of course. So
Last one of
purging
the
of things.
year.
Yeah. So crazy. But no, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how I'm doing right now. It's like a up and down. I heard someone talking about the other day. It was a psychic meeting, and she was talking about the energies. And it's like one day you feel like, oh, I got this on the master manifester. And then the next day you're like, I don't even know how I exist right now. Like that's how it is. That's how my life is right now. And it could be from one moment to the next. And it's so
Listen,
crazy.
as always, it's interesting that you say that because just to give preface, if you're new to us, Bev and I don't get together ahead of time to decide what we're going to talk about, and we haven't talked in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, um, we are a week after Thanksgiving of 2025 recording this video, and the week before Thanksgiving I told somebody, I said, I really want to cry, but there's there's nothing that's triggering me to allow it to flow. It's just sitting there. It's almost like a lump in your throat, but it's just sitting there. And it's like, okay, at any moment, this dam is gonna break. I don't know what's gonna trigger it, when it's gonna happen, or nothing like that. You just know it's sitting there. And it wasn't that I could make myself cry. So last Thursday, full moon, right? December 4th.
I think so. Time has gone by so much time in just a few
Yeah.
days.
So December 4th was the full moon that you're talking about. Had to be to work early because we have a early morning meeting at like 7:30. So I am driving down the road. I'm like, well, it's so early. I'm gonna turn some music on to uh get me up, right? Shift my energy. No. What happens? It plays the exact songs that I need to hear and tears start flowing. And I could have lost my shit, like just let the dam go. I gotta go into this meeting. But I went ahead and just let some tears fall as I was driving to work, listening to these songs. And then it was another song. And then the third one was like a very uplifting song, more like a you got this type of song, and it's going to be a great day and all the things. So, now I was Thursday morning. So then there's Friday. Friday started feeling icky, my sinuses and nose running and all that. And whenever my nose starts running, I'm just like, those are held back tears, and this is the way they're flowing. And then last night, I love the mushy, Christmas movies like Hallmark stuff and all that. So last night I was watching a movie, and I didn't have like a meltdown or anything, but it was just enough to let some more tears fall. And so anyway, I was like, okay, we're just gonna sit here with this and feel it. And but yeah, all around that full moon.
Yeah. And I've had similar, and it's funny that you're saying even last night, because even last night, so we had my grandson's birthday, hit my oldest grandson's birthday party yesterday. And it's like everything was great. And I wanted to blame it on possible foods. Maybe there's some dyes in the foods, because I've been doing like parasite cleanse. I've been doing stuff, and I've noticed a difference with more clarity in my mind. I feel more light. I feel like my mind's not constantly chattering all the time. So I was having all those feelings, and then I had all that stuff like sugars and stuff, and I haven't had any of that. And I'm coming home and I'm crying. I'm crying in my vehicle. I get home. I'm almost home, and I was supposed to have a package yesterday that was my grandson's one of his presents, but it just wasn't going to come in time. Find out that it was going to the wrong address, so they sent it back. And it's like I couldn't stop it or anything like that. And then it's like Freeman was actually at the mailbox talking to the guy, said our names and everything. He would have had the package on there. It just would have had the incorrect address. And it's like there were so many opportunities that it could have happened, but it was a path of least resistance. That was a gateway for me to have that experience of releasing. So then I get in the house and I figure out that it was the wrong address. So it's like it was last night. I felt like I was schizophrenic, psychotic. I don't know, because it would go up and then I'd feel like happy again, and all of a sudden I'd start crying again, and then I'd be happy again, and it's like, and things would set me off throughout whatever, and it was just all that it was just a release. It was to release this stuff, and gosh, I learned so much from just having those experiences, honestly, and without even putting any going along that path. So that's the emotional part. But then, and I'm at the party and I'm recognizing things, but I'm not emotionally getting affected or attached to any of these things. The way they're picking on one of the kids, the and I say picking on one of the kids from my perspective, but it was a trigger for me. I recognized that, so it didn't bother me at all last night, but last night or during that time frame, and then last night it starts coming to me about this stuff, and my victim almost wanted to come up real quick and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is happening." It's like, no, wait a minute, this was showing up for me. If this is triggering me, it's triggering my child. It's not the triggering of that is going on. If I recognize this and I process it, no longer do they have to be in that space to be the teachers to show me that this is an opportunity for my growth. And I can stay in that space and I can and be in that victim space, because really it's really easy when it comes to your grandkids and your kids and everything. But I could stay in that space, and I chose not to. I chose not to because I could see the bigger picture. The bigger picture was my little girl was affected because that's the way I was treated by somebody in my life. I can't pinpoint who it was, and I don't need to. It's not even a necessary process, but it's for me to go into that process. I can ask myself, is this true? I can feel the emotions. There's all these different things that were coming through. So it was an opportunity. That's all that it was, an opportunity for my growth,
Yeah.
like being tested, I guess.
And mine was pent up energy. And I knew that. And I just knew at some point it was going to be released. Didn't know when. Of course, never a convenient time.
But
um,
it is, because then it played
well,
you
yeah,
two
what?
good songs to release, and then it uplifted you. So it was like, how amazing. I mean, it's not timely. I mean, we would not think it's timely,
Yeah,
right? But it was so divine.
yeah. Um, and even when the uplifting songs started playing, I'm like out loud, I said, "You guys are good. You guys are really good." But mine was like a pent up energy of just life experiences, people in my life, um, questioning again where I'm at with myself in my life, thinking about purpose. Just it was just a variety of things compounded that were stored. And I know the answers to all of them. And where I'm at with my life, I'm okay. Like things actually are really good. It's my idea of and my perception of, the same questions other people ask. Why aren't my finances better? Why aren't I'm further along in my life than I am? Why, you just start asking all these different questions. But that was me dipping into the not good enough story, the not feeling good enough about myself, and realizing, well, you're taking that piece, looking at that, and then really look at everything you've accomplished in this year. Look at everything you've already done in your lifetime. Look at all the amazing things you have done. And yesterday, I received two messages, one in person and one through a text, talking about, well, these two people, different spectrums, different two different communications of talking about the retreats I did and how they affected them and how blessed they were and all these things. And I'm just like, wow. Two people in one day. And one of those things for me is for a while now, I've been wanting to plan a retreat. Timing has been huge. And having the time to sit down and plan it and get that going has been really challenging. And having the longing for it and the desire to do it. And so that was some more of that energy pent up. Like I'm not doing the things that I am passionate about and love to do. However, on the flip side of that, where I am with my life and what I'm doing is still being a positive impact on other people in the community. So it's a just a mindset shift of where I am with myself.
Nice. It's that constant evolution.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I think for me, I've recognized recently, I just want to be happy. And I don't think people can see me on here and I can show up happy sometimes and I can do these other things. And when I get around others, being of service makes me happy. But I would say a lot of times I can be in my head and I'm not feeling that I'm fully happy. And then I'm recognizing in my family, everyone's not fully happy. And then I'm recognizing even from cousins and stuff that when we're not together, we can say that we're happy, but then if we complain about something, we're not really that happy because we're still focused on those things. And so now that's where I'm at. That's what my goal is. I just want to be happy. I don't know what that looks like. I don't care about the money. I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to be freaking happy because the money is not, money comes and goes. It's fluid, it's just we can spend it, we can do whatever, and happiness can come and go as well, but it's like that's my priority right now. And if I can't make myself my own priority, then I've got a problem. The problem being it's not a problem, it's a learning lesson. It's an opportunity for my growth. So it's put me into a space where that's what my focus is. I just want to be happy because I don't feel that way. I feel there's a lot of stuff that goes on in my mind and I've caught myself keeping myself separate in situations. So there's just a lot of stuff that's going on. But with all that being said, even like the spiritual stuff, looking for the next big spiritual experience, right? Looking for that next big experience. Oh man. And I have experiences, but those are short lived. Those are not something that I stay in for a very long space of time. And so then the rest of the time, I've got to be able to find a balance for myself, find that happiness for myself. And so that's where I'm at, right? That's what I'm working on these days.
Yeah. Mine's just getting out of my head and back into my heart and taking the steps towards the things I want to do. And it's like reinventing myself again. And I say again because I've done this multiple times. Um, I've also felt in this journey that because where I work has kept me so busy that it's also given me time to, okay, what do I like? What do I don't like? What do I want to do? Right? Just reassessing myself in these different topics or directions and um, getting a little bit more clarity, but also it's okay that I've taken that step back to reassess, to reignite, to reinvent, and to start again. But this time I'm starting from a place of I have more connections, which is what my place of employment has done for me. It's gotten me out in the community, which is what I wanted to do when I started this job. I've met more people that I didn't know before. I probably would have never had the opportunity to be around. I've reconnected with people I've known for years in our community. So there's just been so many positive things happening. But this is what we do is as in general, not just with me, but in general, We focus on the things that don't seem right. So it doesn't seem right that at this age, this is where my finances are and this is what I'm doing with my life and all these things, instead of going, but wow, look at you now. So in years past, old version of myself, I would have stayed in that beating up myself with where I'm at. I would not have had the ability, because I've been so busy in my head with what was wrong. I wouldn't have the ability to give myself kudos for all the things that have gone right and all the things that I've gotten through and all the things that I've um, adjusted and shifted and changed. And I wouldn't have been able to do that. So where I'm talking, I've been in this for a couple weeks and I'm just was waiting for those tears to flow so I could release that energy out of my body. And now it's like, okay, let's start now. Today's the good day to start. And this is what I want people to hear is today is a good day to start. We tend to wait until Monday. We tend to wait until the first of the year. We tend to wait and keep pushing it out. But when the energy is there, it's time to start. And of course, I'm saying this out loud, not only to whoever's listening, but to myself. Today's a good day to start. So I have it on my agenda for today to take a couple steps towards the things that I want to be doing. And each day just keep working on that. And even when we're making baby steps towards something, is better than not doing it at all. It's better than just saying, okay, well, when all this is in alignment, then I will do it. No, just start, because then you get the momentum going. When you get the momentum going, then the universe can collaborate with you to help you along, and doors open, people come to you, opportunities are there. And that's the best thing to do is start, take the step, start moving.
And I have been doing all those things as well. I mean, I have been doing the moving. I meditate every single day. I write. If I wake up, have a tendency to wake up between 2 and 4, so I'll be up and I'll come and write. I talk to God the whole time I'm writing for understanding, for whatever. I just skip all the middlemen anymore and go right to the source for me. And that is beneficial for me, but it's also I still have this I don't know if I want to say it's chatter, but it's like this heaviness. And then, and then I have to check in with myself and ask, is this my heaviness? Because we can pick up on so many other people's stuff, and it's like there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now too. But it's really for me to stand in my power. And I don't stay in these moments, but when I am in the moment, I just allow it to be. I just allow it to be. It's just a huge recognizing for myself, even with my family, like the whole family not being happy. And it's like we're the ones to make that change because for whatever reason there has been an unhappiness that has followed. You know what I mean? And then maybe that's not just for my family. It's probably maybe more in general for the world. But it's like because we're being born again. We're like shifting from these areas that the old paradigms we don't resonate with them anymore. So everything's changing so much. So we're like having to re-identify ourselves, like you're even talking about, knowing that you're reinventing yourself again. That's because everything's changing right now and we don't exist the same. We don't thrive the same. We're totally different beings now. And so it's just figuring out what does that look like for you. And it's not getting caught up in it being depressed. It's being caught up in and feeling it. Because I spent most of my life being so angry. I can only remember and I can't remember being happy like that, but I just remember seeing a picture of me as maybe I was like 18 months old or something like that, that I was super like smiling, happy, just like a happy kid, just having a good time. So it's a whole lot of recognizing and it's a whole lot of going within to explore all these things. Because before I wouldn't even looked at any of this stuff. I wouldn't have explored any of it. And then I pay attention to the things that I'm drawn to. I'm paying attention to what's happening around me. How is it showing up for me? because it's making me ask questions differently instead of, because it's so easy to step into the old processes of victim or the old process of anger. It's like I was just telling Freeman last night. I said, I can do anger. I can do protect it. I mean, where I protect myself, I can do defensive. I can do all those things, but just doing happiness because he said you've never learned how. I had not learned how, so it's learning how. So I'm going to have so many experiences that are going to show up for me, showing me how and what that looks like. What does that feel like? Even though I felt like I've gone so far, like I've come such a long way to get to where I'm at right now, then it gets into a little bit of a heavy, and it's like, it's okay. It's okay for me to be in this heavy space. It's all right. There's no place that I have to be. There's no place that I have to be because otherwise I'm comparing myself to somebody else or I'm judging myself. And I'm just learning to not do that because the more that we get into that space of judging ourselves or others, we kind of limit ourselves. We kind of shut ourselves off from everything else. And so I'm just exploring the things. I recognize what I'm being drawn to. Do I know what I'm going to do when I grow up? Have no clue. Do I know what my passions are? I'm learning and they change. And that's the whole thing. You think you've got everything like tacked down and you've got this figured out. And then all of a sudden there's a big shift that happens and you don't have it figured out again. And that's okay. I'm still safe. I've got to have faith and know that no matter what, I'm going in the right direction for me. And so that's what I know. That's what I have faith. I believe that I know that I'm being led and this is part of the process and I've got to be okay with it. I guess I don't have to be okay with it, but for me, looking at everything, it's just like exploring it and looking at what does it look like for me? Because what the processes I'm going through may not work for somebody else. My medicine isn't always the same medicine for someone else. My medicine for me might be poison for somebody else. It's an individual experience.
Yeah. And I go back to you know, learning to be happy. I had to do the same thing. And I watch people, I'd observe them. I would, those people that always seem to have their light shining, they're always laughing, positive, upbeat. I would watch them and I would observe them and what are they doing? What what is it they're doing that I could implement? I sat with my son recently, and he was going over, it was nothing new to me, but he was going over, you know, dreams. Like, what dreams do you have? What are those audacious goals and all the things? And there was a group of us. So it wasn't just him and I. It was a group of us. He's like, write those down, and so I sat there and I wrote down a couple things, and then I just sat there thinking. And when we got all done, we were having conversation, and I said, I don't know what that looks like because I wasn't exposed to that kind of thing. It was all about necessities. So as long as my necessities are met, anything outside of that, I don't know. I'm getting emotional now about it. I didn't then, but I am now. But being able to dream, I was like, I don't know what that looks like. I need somebody to share with me their dreams so then I can go, well, is that for me or not?
Yeah.
So learning to be happy is one of those things. If you don't know how, you have to learn. And it's one of the most important things we can do in these bodies, because without that, you just stay in that victim mode, and you stay in the space of not good enough, not worthy enough, feeling like you have no purpose. And it's find the people, listen to the people, observe the people who are demonstrating joy and happiness, and learn from them and implement it, because that's so important.
And that heaviness you're describing is exactly where I've been.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like gonna go do something with my hair. I'm gonna, just trying to find ways to uplift me. I don't know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it might be trying to grasp a hold of what I'm familiar with. And so I'm not sure about that, about all that stuff either, because this is like all baby steps, like you were saying earlier. This is like I'm at the party yesterday and I witnessed this one gal and she's just talking and it's like she's been through a lot, but her energy is light. You know what I mean? It's she could laugh easily and there was things like that. And and I'm so much better than I was. And as far as a comparison to that, or as far as a gauge to that, so I have an idea where I'm at. But it's like the same thing, not knowing. I have no idea. I have zero idea what I'm going to do. I have no idea why I'm here, or and that changes because I can talk to people and then I feel like, oh, one night I was having like two or three people contacting me and like thanking, it's like kind of along the same lines that you're saying, thanking me for being there and for the information. It's like, but I don't see it or I don't feel it in those times. But it's another way of the universe reminding me of, there's truth to a lot of this stuff. The information I'm receiving from them, there's truth to that. And it's to look at it. But it's like being in that heavy space. And like I said, it's not a long-term thing, but it's something that I'm in right now. So I'm just kind of going through the process. That's honest. That's where I'm at right now. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
And it's being in that space is not always easy on your relationships that are around you. It affects everything, but it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Honestly, it's not, but it just is, just being in those moments of that. And it's exploring, because what has it created? It's created a desire for me want to be happy. It's created a desire or a recognition that maybe I have not been happy, but just like you said, out of necessity, I've been pushing myself to be all these things. And it's the truth. To have a dream, I'll start getting into those spaces where I can be this master creator and I can flow with it. And then other times, and then that's very short lived for me right now, but I've had a taste of it, so I know what it tastes like. I know what it looks like. I know how it feels, but I don't know how to be there all the time. And so your information, the knowledge that you're sharing right now and your experience is very valuable to me because it gives me the opportunity to really explore that, really look around for it. Because now that I'm kind of tuning into it, it's going to show up. I think I talked a little while ago. I'm going to tune in directly to God. I'm not going to just tune into the angels and see how they feel. I want to tune into what does God feel like to me. And so I'm tuning in. So I'm tuning into this experience. And I'm tuning into what does happy feel like to me. And I'm not sure. And so I'm asking what's inside of myself. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that feels like. I truly do not know what, how to be happy all the time, how to feel happy all the time. I don't. It was easy when I came together with groups or whatever, because you get to be in a different space. Maybe I took more time to honor the space. And sometimes I wasn't in a great space either, but I was able to be lifted or lifted myself up during that time frame. But we're in a time space where we can't rely on the stuff outside of us anymore. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It might give you a temporary relief, but it's temporary for myself.
Everything's temporary.
It really is. Yeah, everything is, everything is ever changing.
Another thing I remember when you were talking is 2025 in a universal number is 9, so it's the end of a cycle, which means 2026 is the beginning of a new cycle.
Nice.
So we're going into a 1 year. So everything's starting anew. So this is also this emotional release, could be releasing the old, um, allowing an energy shift that's been um, maybe, like I mentioned earlier, it's just stuff that's been compounding and in me and just being held on to for whatever reason. And now the release is happening. Also, saying that the full moon is this was the most powerful full moon for the year and the last one of this year. And if you don't know, the full moon energy is usually starts about 3 days before, then you have the day of, and then 3 days after. So um it would make sense for us to be having this emotional release within this time frame at this time in December 2025, and maybe clearing up some energy, releasing some energy. So for the 1 year, now we start anew. And so it would be important at this time during December to start laying out, your goals, maybe writing down some dreams that you have, um, cleaning up some clutter. I know for myself, I have some piles that have generated, and to in the next couple weeks, I'll be taking time to clean all that up and cleansing my space, my home, and just really bringing in fresh new energy. And uh, if you have some pent up emotional stuff going on, then you can grab a pen and paper and just start writing and see what comes up, and that's a good way to release it as well.
Yeah, that's been very beneficial for myself for sure. And you're talking about cleaning up. It's like my office is actually very well organized now because I worked on it this last week, and the time frames obviously fit emotional wise with the full moon for releasing. Totally fits. Um, Also, we're in the year of the snake. If anyone wants to, look at it into any of that information. And that's shedding. We're like having lots of shedding and growing and shedding and growing and shedding and growing. So it's a constant thing. So I wasn't even paying attention that we were in a 9 year still. I was like not even in that space, but it's all kind of goes together. And then we are getting ready to go into this new space where probably I'm not even gonna. I'll be blown away by what happiness really is and what that looks like and what that feels like for myself. In the meantime, I just have faith that I know that I'm still going in the right direction. The heavy feelings would totally make sense with everything like I just said. It really just makes a lot of sense because it is I have noticed it, and like I said, it's been like a little bit of a roller coaster ride because then I'll have like a great moments and everything's great, and then it's like back down again and it's back up again and it's down again. So it's just just enjoying the ride as I go,
Yeah.
because there was a time that I would not have felt any of these emotions. I wouldn't have allowed myself to feel any of these emotions. I would have cleaned the whole house. I would have done whatever I could to, and I still do stuff. Believe me, there's still a lot of stuff I'm doing. I could turn on music and listen to that and sing all day long, which which is expressing self and it's allowing flow through self. But at some point, for me, it could be distracting and it keeps me from sitting still and actually feeling the emotions or feeling the feelings. So instead, 2 to 4 is when I wake up in the middle of the night so that I can process and from a neutral space because I've had a few hours of rest and then can go into that space. And I'm okay with that. Before, when I was younger, I would have been like furious that I even woke up and I got this much time to sleep left and all these thoughts that I used to have that I don't even carry with me any longer. So now it's just to be in that space of, okay, I'm awake, so I'm going to go ahead and meditate anyways. I'm awake. I'm going to go ahead and write anyways. I'm going to go ahead and talk to God anyways. I'm going to whatever it is that I'm guided to in that moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
So wherever you are with yourself, you're okay. If you feel like you need to cry, cry. Um, well, like in my aspect, it was the music that triggered me, or pen and paper, or maybe have a sounding board, somebody you could talk to, just to listen, so you can just get the words out, and just know that um, wherever you are with yourself, with your life, you're okay, and things can get better. So
100%. And they will. That's the whole thing. The next time you see me in a recording, maybe not the very next recording, but in the very near future, it'll be a different perspective. It'll be a different outlook because I'll feel totally different. Because I will have done what you would have said before is done the work. I will have walked through this and it doesn't identify me.
yeah,
Is that the right word? No. Anyways, it doesn't make that doesn't define me is what the word I was
Right.
looking for, not identify. It doesn't define me. It's just an experience. It's just to be felt.
Yeah. It's not your identity.
That's true.
So with that, friends, and when you get out, when you move through the energy shift, whatever is happening, and you get on the other side of that, then some other things may come to light, and that's always an opportunity for growth and expansion as well. So just be open to the entire process and notice and feels, notice the shifts, notice your perceptions and perspectives, and learn and grow from that. And it's all worth it. It's all beneficial. You just have to have this self-awareness to recognize what it is, what it means to you. So with that, be resourceful. Other people are having these conversations within themselves or with other people. So they're seeking the guidance and input and the support. So you can share our videos or anyone else that you feel has been helpful for you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spreaker, Spotify, and Podcast Addict, and YouTube. And just share the content that helps all the influencers and podcasters get their information out there for those who are seeking those answers as well. So we thank you for hanging out with us. Tea Time with Amy and Bev, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good day.